Hello, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new card making video. Today, I am challenging myself to see if I can use all of the stamps in one stamp set on one card. And that stamp set is the Fall Gnomes stamp set. It's the clear stamp of the month from Spellbinders for the month of September 2022. It's called Fall Gnomes. There's two little gnomes in here, plus a bunch of cute supporting images. There is an optional die set you can get to go with, which I totally did. And there's also a previous clear stamp of the month that is the Spring Gnomes. I thought, since these stamps might not be enough, why don't I throw in the Spring Gnomes too? So this is kind of my process. When I get a new stamp set, I want to kind of sketch out an idea. So with my challenge in mind of using every stamp in the set, I thought I better see if it's feasible for me to fit them all in. Now, sketching this out, you should know a couple things. One, I don't really care if my sketches are cute. If they're good, this is not about sketching and making something cute. This is about getting the idea out of my head and onto paper. So the images are more representational than they are cute. So yes, these gnomes are hideous, and really I stamp because I'm not an artist who can sketch. So there you have that. Also, I just want to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing, and this kind of is my guideline for what I'm gonna, do. And sometimes as I'm sketching, an idea will come to me. Like I'm thinking about this giant open sky behind these gnomes, and I decided, I should do something fun in the background. So I decided, first of all, I need a sentiment. We can put that up there. And then I want to do some ink blending. I love making my own backgrounds. So I decided I was going to have an ink blended background with falling leaves. So you can see that coming together. And then I'm just thinking about, where are all of these images going to go? Am I going to have to put some on the inside of the card? So also I decided I wanted the hill to be green, and previously in this video I showed you the card I made with the spring gnomes. I wasn't even thinking about that card at the time I made this card, and not actually till I inserted the photo into this video, but they are similar cards. I guess that's kind of my style. So yeah, going with my style. That always works, right? Okay, so I ink blended some Salvaged Patina and then the Falling Leaves, which is actually a stencil from Heffy Doodle. And you can see there, I have some mistakes. Yes, I was too eager and too excited. I didn't put down any masking paper, and yeah, now there's that. So we're just going to strategically put things on this card. We're not going to stress about it because you know what? I had fun making this and the rest of it looks amazing. We're going to work it out. All right, next I have Fossilized Amber Distress ink, and I am going to splatter that onto the card. So I've got my large falling leaves. The yellow splattered on there maybe looks like the falling leaves off in the distance, or maybe it's like pollen. Fall things are blooming or floating in the breeze as they are falling off the trees. Either way, my allergies don't like them. All right, so I'm pulling out a die from my stash to die cut a little grassy hill there, and it needs a little bit of ink on it as well. So Rustic Wilderness to the rescue, but a lot of this is going to be covered up. So yeah, you do what you like. Now, I want to use every single image in this stamp set, right? So I'm going to stamp the whole entire stamp set. Why peel them all off? So this is what I do. I tape the set, on its plastic sheet to the door of my MISTI. Then I can just ink every single image up and stamp it down, and then I can clean them off while they're still on that sheet, and I can put it back in the packaging. So it works really well. You can also stamp several of them and stick them in the package, so next time you go to use this set, ready to go. And there you can see the two gnomes from the Spring Gnome stamp set that I stamped out. And now it's time to do a little bit of coloring. Well, a little bit for you and a lot for me, but I thought I would show you some of it. I am a very simple Copic colorist. I do like to use 2 or 3 markers of each color so I can have some shading and some highlights, and you got to play with it. You got to have fun with it. You have to enjoy it. If alcohol marker coloring is not enjoyable to you, do what you love. You know, pull out your colored pencils or watercolor, but do what you love to do. All right, so now I am coloring out his little nose and his hands, and I pretty much stuck with the same, I think it's E34 and E31 for all of my gnomes' skin, and then they're all getting gray beards. Now there is one gnome with some like ponytails, I think they are, and she is having some brown ponytails. So you'll see all the images fully colored, but I am using tonal gray markers for the beard. So T2, T1, and T0. I like to give them just like some little strands on there and let some of the white show through. And then I'm using BG13 as this kind of color that's supposed to go with Salvaged Patina in my background. And I love this color combination, the dark orange, the darker yellow, the Salvaged Patina together for fall. That pop of teal just makes it so bright and cheery. All right, so then for my pumpkins, I'm coloring those out, and all the same colored markers. Now I thought they were on the screen, but it appears they got cut off a little bit. So really, you use the markers that you have. And if you haven't seen the color chart by Sandy Allnock, you should go to her website and check that out. I purchased it, I printed it out, and it's a great way to kind of keep track of your Copic markers and see ones that blend well together. So there's all my colored images, and I did some white highlights on them with a gel pen as well. And now I am using the coordinating dies to cut out all of the things except the sentiments. So for that, I just like went through my stash. I found this die from a previous large die of the month from Spellbinders, and it cut out my sentiments perfectly. All right, so now it's time to kind of start assembling all of the things. So first up, the grassy hill. Then I just like to take all the images and lay them out according to my sketch and see how they're going to fit on there. Sometimes I have to make some adjustments. And now I am taking all the images that I want to be glued down and doing that. So you can see my girl gnome, she's holding a coffee. The second gnome is holding a piece of pie. The third gnome is holding the fall banner. The little gnome, I'm going to put him behind the grass because he's really small in comparison to the other ones. So I thought putting him behind the grass made him look farther away and gave it a little bit of like depth perception. I'm filling up my little wheelbarrow with the acorn, the apple, and the sunflower that has no stem. I glued down my sentiment. I glued down my sunflower. I'm going to glue down the tiny little gnome and the leaf in front of him. Yeah, look at it. He's so cute. So cute. All right, then there's the pumpkins. I'm going to glue down the larger one that's farther away. And then I still have my small pumpkin and my leaf, and that's going to end up getting popped up. But I just couldn't put this wheelbarrow next to the pumpkins being orange. So I brought out my E07 marker. That's going to give it a little bit like a rusty red color. And then my YR09 marker to blend that out, which is the darkest color I used on my pumpkins. But now you can see there's a contrast between the wheelbarrow and the pumpkins. I like that so much better. So now all the rest of the things are being added to the card with some foam squares. I like that touch of dimension on my cards, plus it helps with that depth perception and that tiny gnome there. Yeah, so good. All right, so here's the little pumpkin and then the green leaf, tucking that in. And my sentiment, I ended up having to put over to the side instead of in the middle, like my sketch showed. Now I have these embellishments, Falling Rainbow. These are all leaves in all different colors. I pulled some out that I thought matched some yellow, orange, and green leaves, and I'm just going to glue those randomly down to enhance the look of the falling leaves. But as you can tell, my gnome hat and my grass covered up the mistakes in my stenciling, so there was no need to panic about that being ruined or start over. Right? We can always make it work. Okay, so for my sign, you can see over there in the right corner, I colored my sentiments to kind of make them look like a wooden sign, but I practice on the other two sentiments first, and those are the ones going to go on the inside of the card. And I just thought it was fun to kind of add some color to that. It kind of looked like a label before, I wasn't liking that look. So I added some black gel pen, actually, dots to the corner that kind of look like nail heads. And then this is getting mounted to my slimline card, which is 8.5 by 7, scored at 3.5. And then my sentiments on the inside, which now completes my use of using every stamp in the entire set. I'm not sure that sentence makes sense, but I think you know what I mean. Okay, so from the spring gnomes, I pulled out this flower. I just wanted something kind of cute on the inside, and I thought this flower would do the trick. And I know it's not a sunflower, I know that, but I colored it like a sunflower anyway because I can. I don't think anybody's going to be mad about it. And then there is a coordinating die, so I die cut them out and glued them around my sentiments there. So it says, be thankful for the little things, happy gnome giving. Kind of like friend giving. Friends giving? Yeah, that. So that completes my card. I was able to use every stamp in the set, and I didn't repeat any of them. And I thought that was pretty cool, but you could totally do a bunch of the leaves or a bunch of the pumpkins. And I love that I pulled the other gnomes from the other set, so I had a nice little gang of gnomes on the front of my card. So that completes my use of the Clear Stamp of the Month for September from Spellbinders. If you're interested in their club kits, I'm going to have them linked for you in the description box below because they have the large die, they have the Glimmer hot foil, so many fun things. You can check them out there, and I will see you guys again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!